The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. As a kid in middle school, I read The Chronicles of Narnia. I actually watched the movie first, then I read the book, and then I figured out that this is a whole series. I got this really thick copy with everything in it. What had happened was I lost the book before I could finish every book in the series, but past the silver chair, it wasn't much. From other people that enjoyed the series, I have already heard the silver chair and the last battle just didn't live up to the expectations that the previous books had actually put out. So I decided to just not continue it. So for this review, I will only be covering The Magician's Nephew, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the classic that everybody should know, The Horse and His Boy, which is really underrated and went under a lot of people's radar. I really like that one. Prince Caspian, another fan favorite that a lot of people should know. The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. This is the trilogy that they made, or the end of the trilogy that they made. And they didn't really touch anything else because The Silver Chair and The Last Battle, I've just heard, are not up to depth. I haven't read them, and I would like that to be duly widely noted. But my enjoyment of this series is not on the hinge of one or two books. I'm going to be talking about the series as a whole. So the whole series that I've read, not the entire series. The storytelling in these books is phenomenal. I am not one for fantasy. I couldn't get into Harry Potter. The pureblood thing always seemed off and weird to me. I never really appreciated it, or the idea that sorcerers and magicians are from a holy lineage or whatever. I never could get into that. Lord of the Rings, I was never invested in it. As a child, this is the only fantasy series that I could really lock into. It's not my job to explain the plot. It's more just to cover it, but to give a little insight on exactly what happens in each of them, except for A Horse and His Boy. I'll say there are children that are whisked into a whimsical world that they don't fully comprehend or understand, and they are made the champions of this world through prophecy and legend. The characters, as they're little kids, are all very relatable. In the Chronicles of Narnia, there are two boys, two girls. In The Magician's Nephew, there's one boy, one girl. In A Horse and His Boy, there's a boy and his horse. And all of these characters are, you could see yourself as them. It's set in the 1940s, and then The Magician's Nephew is set a little bit before then, so the 1910s, maybe the late 1800s. Except when they go into the magical worlds, in The Magician's Nephew, it's not Narnia yet. I think that's all the spoilers that I want to get into. The conflicts are all about good versus evil, but also conquering the evil within yourself in order to do good onto others and be a good influence onto the world, whether that be Narnia or where you come from. The writing is, as an adult, if I were to go back and read it, I would probably see it as elementary, but that's the point. It's a kid's series. It's for kids that like to read and are very interested in expanding their outreach. So there aren't any big, difficult words that you're gonna need to go to a dictionary and Google. I wouldn't even want to say elementary level or even grade school level book, because it still has profound details on the ideas of how to treat yourself and others correctly. I really enjoyed that part of it. We're always going through the perspective of the children. For the most part, it's mostly about them going through these challenges, learning how to grow up in a fantasy world, taking influence from the characters around them and learning and coming to their own conclusions over what is right and what is wrong. Every character has that little arc. Some just come into the world and they already have their expectations. Others come into the world and they let the world take them on a journey. No matter what, you could find a character that you could get behind and really get on the level of. These books, especially when I was young, gave me something very fond to look back on and to hope for. And while the movies were coming out, they were good. They were good comparatively to the books. Of course, you can't put everything in the books in the movies, but the movies, they had a lot of respect for the source material. I'd say even the movies are good, but these are not movie reviews. These books made me feel as if fantasy wasn't so far-fetched. I feel like the theme of each book is to do right by others and do right by yourself, which is a very good theme for any children's series to have and take hold of. And though I haven't read The Silver Chair or The Last Battle, I do hope that this theme was carried along through there. Maybe later I will read those last two books for another review. For the moment, I am very comfortable with what I've read and what I have went through. That is my take on the Chronicles of Narnia. I really appreciate those books. Still, to this day, I am grateful for the experience that I have had. They were fanciful, they were fantastic. If I had to rate it, I'd say it's pretty good. It's a pretty good book. Yeah, that was my take on the Chronicles of Narnia, and if you would like to form your own opinion and post it in the comments, I would suggest that you read it for yourself.